I'm live. Hi. Is it a glare? I need my glasses because this screen is giving me what's the thing? Yes, you are. For they don't know you as Yasin though. They know you as Yaya. Let me see if I'm gonna turn this light on. I think I'll turn the light on. Even though it's sunny outside, I think it's what's it called? I think it's better with the light. Hi everybody. I'm over here trying to figure out what to do with my time. I'm kind of bored today. I feel like I've been given so much. Hi, somebody's there. Hi, Kawana, Bilbon Bagging. Hi. Yeah. I yes, everybody is your auntie. Say hi. Yeah. They say hi, beautiful. I feel like I have my time back because somebody is back to school.
Yay! And I got a heart.
You had a hard class?
A little heart.
She's over here. You won't believe what she's watching. She's watching
The Two Witches.
it's called Bewitched. She's watching Bewitched. I got her watching old shows. I think this was black and white TV before, but she's like totally into it. Yeah. So she's watching Darren and I forget the lady's name, but
Ladies and mean.
she's not mean. But anyway. Oh, Samantha. Yes, Samantha.
Hi, Samantha.
No, that's the name of the lady.
Oh.
Technicolor. Yeah, so I just got back from little vacation that was the best. I miss traveling so much. These are my souvenirs. Some of my souvenirs. I got flags from Spain and Portugal. It was so awesome. I miss traveling. Um, it really does something to me when I get to go somewhere else and learn just by being somewhere, even if it's just for a couple of days. And so then we came back and she started school. I think school technically started on Thursday, but I called the principal. She was like, no one was really there. It's like, it's so, I like how things are lax, even though sometimes it can be a nuisance where things are too lax than what I'm used to. But I like the fact that the principal was like, it's okay if she can come on Monday. It's like, all right, cool. So she didn't miss anything. You know, people are still enrolling and all that stuff. So she's back in school. So I have all this time. I had all this stuff to do. Um, her summer break is rainy season, so it was like we want to just sleep in and wake up at 10, eat breakfast at 11. So I had to get back on schedule. So this just forces me to wake up early again. So I'm working out and doing extra stuff. And by the time lunchtime or I pick her up, I don't have anything else to do. So I'm like, man, I wasn't being productive. Doda, hi, you are here. Oh, chocolate. Now I know who Chocolate Twist Yoga. Yes, my yoga teacher. Oh, the first yoga class that I ever took. I didn't even look at the name.
Yeah.
I think I was pregnant with you when I started yoga.
Wait. Three of them. Here, here, here,
Yeah,
here.
those are different people. But this is from I used to take yoga at the Crenshaw Mall with your auntie Mel, and she was my yoga instructor on the weekends. Oh, Lisbon and Barcelona. Oh, that's exactly where I went. Well, Lisbon, I just stopped in the airport, but it was okay. It looked beautiful from the plane, like at night and in the daytime. It's very nice, very clean looking. And Barcelona was the best time I've had. I've been to maybe 20 countries almost, or 20 different countries. And I have places where I go back again and again and again because of the people, mostly the people that I meet. But this place, I didn't even meet anybody, make a friend. But it's just the people are friendly. I don't think all of Spain is like this. I think Barcelona, because it's on the water, that does something to people. It's very LA, and it's mixed. Like we've seen a lot of people that you can't tell where anybody's from. You don't know if they're from Africa or South America or Central America or another country in Europe. Like You see black people speaking French. You see white people speaking whatever, and white people speaking Spanish is like even though I know that they speak Spanish, it's like the blue eyes and the super blonde hair, like was trippy for me sometimes. But especially like the style of the people, because when you think of Spain, you think of flamenco and dark hair and stuff like that, like the Arabic influence. But it was like it's all kinds of people. So you see somebody that look like they could be from Utah or Salt Lake, for from Montana or something, and then they speaking Spanish. Like it was a trip to me. But the people are very welcoming. I did not get any kind of like vibe of like anybody's feels more superior than anybody. Like I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that energy. I didn't feel anybody staring like, what are you, this black couple, what are you doing here? Like I didn't get those feelings that I normally would expect to get in a predominantly European place. But there's a lot of people where you look at them and you're like, oh, they look like the Mexican homie or the from El Salvador or something, and they're like probably from maybe Ecuador or Venezuela, stuff like that. So it was, the vibes is nice. They got cool music, like the flamenco. They got new style flamenco music that I heard some. There's like flamenco pop and flamenco reggaeton, and they're into bachata and stuff like that. So I like dancing, so I'm into a lot of Afro Latin music. So that's cool. But I would definitely, like, Barcelona reminded me so much of LA that I really felt at home. Like once I learned how to take the train, it was awesome. The infrastructure is definitely suitable for cycling. People were taking their bikes on the trains and stuff. So I'm thinking, yes. I didn't see as many bikes as I did see in what's that place in Denmark. Like Denmark, oh my gosh, everybody rides a bike. It doesn't matter if it's like pitch black outside, 40 degrees or 30, whatever, however cold it can get, 20. People were riding their bikes everywhere. But this wasn't as many. But we were in the tourist area, so that could be in a lot of the time. So it could be a lot of that too. But there were definitely people riding their bikes. And people have dogs. It was a lot of things I noticed. I actually should journal about this so I don't forget. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna write that down. I need to journal. But the things I noticed was like people had people had really clean dogs. It was a clean city, and I've seen clean cities before. It was pretty immaculate, but like their dogs, like the hair, the coat of the dogs, they walking these fancy dogs around, and the dogs look like they've never been outside. Everybody comes out around 7, 8 o'clock, walk their dogs, let them, use the restroom and stuff. And the architecture was beautiful, and I'm not even into European architecture like that, but it kind of reminds you of like a Medellin, Colombia, or a mix with maybe Italy or yeah, it's like more colors than you would see in like a Paris or something like that. So it was beautiful, especially the weather was perfect. Like I would suggest to go at the end of September, beginning of October. You might get a little rain here and there, but the sky was perfectly blue and 70 degrees. Perfect, like it felt like the fall in LA. It was a trip, and I had the best food. The food actually is way healthier than any other Western country that I can remember going to. Like it wasn't greasy. You didn't feel backed up. It was like fresh. They got seafood. They got Mexican food. Like they have everything. They have everything. The pizza was bomb, especially living here where it's way far away from what I'm used to. So getting the different flavors is hard. So thoroughly enjoyed all the burgers that I had and all the I stocked up. Let me see what people are saying. Let's see. What's going on where you are in the world? I'm assuming you guys are in the States mostly, maybe not everybody, but tell me where you are and what you're doing and what's going on. I've been watching I've been watching a lot of YouTube trying to catch up on stuff like the BET Awards and the Breakfast Club. I've been watching just different stuff, catching up on the culture. I be missing my culture, so you guys gotta let me know what's going on. Oh, sending lots of love. That says Bilbin bagging. Thank you so much. Right back at you. Let me see. Barcelona, but chocolate twist yoga, I definitely will be back in Barcelona. I'm taking my daughter there one day when she could walk around and not complain and get tired. But I want to go back. Like I've never been to a place where I wanted to go back right away like that. Um, but it was nice. It was the people were cool. Like the people were really really welcoming and stuff, and everybody spoke English. Not that I needed them to, but their Spanish is different and it's kind of like faster and hard to understand than the Spanish in the States and stuff. But everybody spoke English, even the people who weren't from Spain. Like it's amazing to me how other cultures and societies can be more adaptable, like and learn different languages. So all the Asian people you see, the Indian people, everybody spoke Spanish and English and their language. So I think that it was nice to see like people don't and they speak Catalan. They speak like the Spain Spanish and the King Spanish or whatever that. Like there's two different languages there too. So it was cool. It was really cool. Let's see. Kawana says making moves to be there in February. February is coming soon. Um, let's see what else is going on. Do you miss the culture here in the States? I'm sick of it. Okay, so EP, that's a good question. So I don't miss everything, obviously. A lot of things I don't miss. But my African American like culture specifically, there are positive things that I miss. I miss speaking in my vernacular to people. Like I'm a child of soul music, R&B, and hip hop, and like all the culture that comes with that. And so that is not something that you can being an African American is not like any other ethnicity. First of all, because you will not find us all over the world. You can't just talking. Do you want to go in your room? Okay, so be quiet, please. But yeah. Oh, she said, just call us sis. Yeah, so it's like, you know, I've noticed about myself. You guys may not know, or you may have to look at my like earlier videos from like 2020 or something before I moved. But I feel like the way I speak, I intentionally speak in my African American vernacular more now because I miss it so much. And like, I don't care. I don't have to put on airs. I'm not at my 9 to 5 or anywhere that I have to be like speak this other kind of English that is like more mainstream. But yeah, I miss that. I miss food. I mean, I'm definitely have to learn to cook a lot of different things that I didn't have to cook before because I had access to it. So I could buy collard greens when I wanted. I can make them when I want it. When I want. I could get pizza when I want. I could go to a restaurant and get the type of pizza that I want, not just pizza. So like stuff like that I do miss. I miss cultural certain not cultural, I guess structural things that make life easier, I guess, or faster paced. So things like that. But yeah, I miss like my people like that. I want to visit Barcelona. I haven't. Okay, so I've never wanted to visit Barcelona. I didn't know where in Spain to go. I just always thought I should go to Spain. I speak Spanish. And then when I started traveling and finding black people in like Latin America and the Caribbean and stuff, and I was like, oh, there's black people everywhere, and they don't be putting them on TV and stuff. And so then I was like, oh, maybe I don't want to go to Spain, but I knew somebody in two people in high school that were from Spain when I went to high school. One was an exchange student, and he was in my class. His name was Victor, and he was like this white Spanish kid. And then he didn't speak no English, and we had to help him in class. Then it was a girl named Nuria Andres, and she was from Spain. And I used to think that was so cool because everybody else in my school was like from Belize and Costa Rica and Mexico and stuff, El Salvador. And so yeah, and she used to try to teach me Spanish, and I used to try to teach her English, and we would end up speaking English. I remember we used to go to movies and hang out and stuff, but she never taught me Spanish. Like we always end up speaking English. So yeah, so I thought, oh, I can go there, but we tried to go back when my husband first moved to the States, but at that time he wasn't a citizen, he was a resident, and he couldn't get a visa to go to Spain. So I was mad at Spain for a long time, like, oh, y'all racist. My husband don't even want to live there, he just want to visit. Y'all don't want Africans. I was just like done with it. But some a Senegalese couple, they live in Texas, but they came to visit us, and they're really cool. And they're like, yeah, Barcelona is the spot. And they showed me this hotel where they stayed in the ocean. I said, I didn't know Spain had like water. I said, that's where I need to be. So if you have not visited, like when I was there and I was posting on my personal social media, two of my friends were like, "That's my favorite city." And I was like, "Y'all didn't tell me." So everybody said they love, like, this couple that goes. They said they go there all the time. I'm like, really? It's like that? So I had to go find out what it's about. Now that I know, I like, yeah, I love it there. People have yeah. I gotta let me write my notes before I forget. I gotta write in my journal about my trip I forget before I forget how it was. But a lot of people have like sleeve tattoos, like a lot of the women. That was interesting to see because I like you could be in a place where there's like 10 people. Like we would get on the plane, there was like three women, all had like the tats all over their arms, like gargoyles and different stuff. So I think they have a different like culture when it comes to, especially like they were in the workplace and stuff like that at the airport and different stuff like visible. Because I remember where I was working, we used to be like, oh, you have to cover your tattoo, wear long sleeve and all that stuff. So I don't know if they're like that or were like that and they changed, but that was interesting to me too. But let's see. Oh, you're welcome, Madam Chocolate Twist Yoga. Keep up the good work. Yoga has really changed my life. Like a lot. Just the breathing and everything with my hypertension and stuff. I didn't think yoga was for black people, and then I took your class, and I was like, oh, black people be doing it. Okay, so it must be something cool about it. So thank you for what you do. Um, EP says, thank you for answering. Okay, I think I understand. You missed the uniquely African American. Yes, very much so. I mean, yeah, there are things that are probably not positive about African American culture, but it still made me who I am. So like, hip hop is not all positive, but I love it. It's a part of who I am. I grew up with it, you know what I mean? Or like certain things may not be positive, but it made me who I am. So like if you like a person who comes from a rough neighborhood would say, oh yeah, the streets, you got to get out of the streets, but it's still in you. It's like that. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, but have fallen out of love with our toxicity here. Yeah, it's very stressful living there. And so living there I cannot do. Especially having traveled, like going to a place like Barcelona and Lisbon. Like when I was in Lisbon in the airport, we had some issues and we had to stay there. We missed the connection flight. There was some stuff going on that I think was BS, but I did have a moment where I was like, "Is this racism?" You know what I'm saying? Because it was us and this other Senegalese lady, and was dealing with security stuff, and I'm like, and then I did hear this one person talking about racism, but it was in Portuguese, but I was understanding some of the words, and it was this lady who she looked. Stop, baby, stop, stop. Nobody wants to talk to you right now. You're interrupting. Anyway, so yeah, so I heard this lady, she looked Hispanic, but she was like blondish, Shakira-ish, whatever. But she had dreadlocks. And I was like, oh, look at this Caucasian lady with dreadlocks, whatever. But then when she was talking about like, no, this is a colonist country and whatever. So she was from Brazil and she was trying to school these other maybe Portuguese ladies or something about like, nah, they discriminated against this indigenous woman and such and such. So I was like, oh, they got that energy going. Like, I guess Brazilians and Portuguese, because everybody know more about Brazil than Portugal. So Portugal probably hating a little bit, like, we discovered y'all or something. Anyway, but I did feel a little bit of like, is it racism going on here? But when I was in Barcelona, I didn't feel none of that. Not to say that stuff doesn't happen to people, but I seen, Cubans, like black Cubans and indigenous looking South American people and stuff. And it seemed like everybody like brown skin and stuff. And Indian people, a lot of Indian people live there. It's like a there's a lady we met in the store and she was like, yeah, it's very melted. It's very much a melting pot in Barcelona. So I was like, that's dope. Um, so I can't imagine myself like my husband said something interesting when we were there. He was like, the US is the only place that he's been or lived in or been to where you can go to a different neighborhood or a state or city and you'll be asked like questions like, what are you doing here? Like you don't belong and you're in the same country. Whereas where we were, people can get on the train and go to France and go to Italy and take a plane. Like there's 5 flights out of Lisbon that go to Spain a day, and nobody's like, "What are you doing here? You don't belong here." This like you're, and now I'm sure, like I'm aware that they have classism and stuff like that, but it's not based on. At least to me, I feel like better better based on money and finances than like what you look like and what culture you come from. But let's see, conveniences. Yes, EP. Yes, exactly. The conveniences. Um, and it's not that there's not conveniences here. There are. The conveniences here are just different. So there's a convenience where you could take a taxi and you could ask the taxi person for their phone number. So now that they know where you live, you can call them. Can you come pick me up? So like that would be something that wouldn't happen in the States. Um, so there's different levels to convenience. Like there's convenience where people will come here and do your hair at your house. It's not a big deal. Or they'll come to you, like somebody came from the capital city to do my daughter's hair, did her hair in an hour and a half and left. You want to tell them how? Let me see. Somebody. Oh, yes. AB is right. The racism in the U.S. is very unique. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Talk to the people. I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Hey guys. Wait.
Tell them about your school today.
Mommy.
Don't tell them what I'm doing. Just tell them what you're doing.
Mommy got the new phone.
Oh, I got a new phone. Why you telling my business?
What are you talking to them? Showing them stuff, okay, Mommy?
Why are you showing them stuff? You're acting like a little kid. Okay, I'm back now. Sorry about that. So I realized that my dress was inside out, so I felt like self-conscious about it. But anyway, I always do that. But let me see what's the next comment that I missed. Move, baby. Yes, I had to get a new phone in Barcelona, which was pretty dope, and it was actually cheap. Like if it was in the States, it would have cost probably 3 times as much. I'm like, man, I thought everywhere in the West was expensive, but I guess it's just us. Let's see. How's the garden? The garden is good. I came back. My plants did not die. The groundskeeper was taking care of them very well, very nicely. He's into plants. He knows about plants, so that helps a lot. That's one of the things about traveling um, that makes it difficult for all of us, or all of us didn't go, just me and my husband, but for both of us to leave at the same time, like having the dogs and the cat and the garden and stuff. But thankfully, we have people that we can rely on because this is not, um, we're not in the same city or region as my husband's family, and I don't have no family here. Oh, I think it's your uncle Badu. It's your uncle Badu. He said Faha. See right here. Can you read it? No, read the name. Mm-hmm. Don't talk like a 3-year-old. Get back. Trying to be funny. Just be yourself. Just be your normal self. Hi, AD. Oh, now I know what AD means. I'm like, what is AD? That's your initials. Hey, back up. Can you turn this off so they can't hear the bewitch? So I'm gonna turn this off. Okay, can you go over there? Can you go over there so I can talk to my friends? Can you go over there so I can talk to my friends? This is why. This is why. I don't know. Sometimes she be having me thinking. Yeah, I should journal tonight about my trip so I don't forget it. Yes, me. Can you please turn the thing off? They don't want to hear the Bewitched song. You're like really messing up my chat with my friends. I'm not liking it. Okay. What did I say? Oh, I'm gonna journal my trip. I should have did that before. I don't know why I didn't think to. But yeah, the garden is good. Dogs are good. Um, everything was watered and nice, and so that was good that we were able to depend on people to take care of stuff. Let me see what's next. I'm in Seattle now, but was in Malakunda eight out of the last 10 months. Oh, wow. Banta what? Okay, I ran into Amadou 3 times. Nice. Okay. Does he know you by Banta? Once I am done with my construction, you should come check it out. For sure, I would love to. Oh, nice. Where what area? Is it like Malakunda Bambara or over by what neighborhood? Um Chocolate Twist Yoga says facts. You can take 15-minute drive from Crenshaw to Torrance and be questioned. Exactly. Torrance, Pasadena. Like I already knew I was born knowing where I couldn't go. Like, and that's my city, like my county. Like that's not even including other states and what, babe? Order some pizza. Go ask your dad. No, but go ask him anyway. Maybe he'll change. You're almost 7 years old. Please do not act like that. Go ask your dad so he don't bother me, please. Do I have to say it again? Thank you. Um, yeah, it's a different thing. Like I feel I don't know for sure. I mean, I know in Central America, in South America, there's definitely racism, there's definitely colorism. I think that the only difference, the major difference, is that the segregation isn't as how am I trying to say not enforced. I don't want to say enforced. The segregation wasn't like as long term as it was in the States. So like when people ask me, especially living here and stuff, and people are like, oh, I have to specify when I say where someone's from, whether they're a white American or a black American or whatever kind of American, Latin American, you know, uh, because our cultures are so vastly different because of the separation. And so, like when you go to a Panama or a Costa Rica or Cuba, Dominican Republic, so you have Caucasian people with Caucasian heritage and lineage. You have African people. You have indigenous people, and all the mixes of all those things. And everyone ends up being of the same culture. Like it's like they all celebrate Thanksgiving or whatever the holiday is, and they all eat lechon. They all eat the same food. So like in the States, I had to explain to my husband when he first moved there, like, no, they do this, we do that. They listen to this kind of music, we listen to that kind of music. I had a homeboy from Puerto Rico, he's black, and he moved to LA, and he always was wondering how I had a Puerto Rican friend that was like a fair skin, like, you know, Latin looking, but like, you know, straight hair and everything. And I was like, he was like, how did you get to be friends with her? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, because black people and white people don't mix here, like, and I'm like, it's true. I mean, I think it's starting to change now as far as like segregation is a lot more it's not as much, but I think it's just because the percentage or the numbers of the populations for us is decreasing, I feel. percentage wise. So we kind of blend in with the other cultures that are around us. Let me see. LOL, pizza delivery out there. Yes, there's pizza delivery. Here, there's delivery of everything if you want. Like whatever you want to happen, you can make happen. So it's not like they don't have conveniences. It's just like, some businesses have Instagram, some businesses have website maybe, but not restaurants. Not really. Mostly Instagram. You get their number, you call them. But delivery is all what you make happen. So if you know a motorcycle taxi or delivery guy, you can call him and be like, I want some food from this restaurant. You send him the money on your phone and he goes to buy it and bring it to you. So that I've done. Like leave it as on delivery. Or the actual restaurant has a delivery person that you pay, but you pay them directly, the delivery person, not the business, and you're basically on call for that restaurant to deliver. So a lot of the restaurants do delivery, most of them. Just the pizza. There's only one restaurant where the pizza I can say is close to what we Americans like, but you have to eat it when it's like hot, hot, hot. And I don't have a microwave anyway, but you have to eat it when it's like fresh. Otherwise, the type of cheeses that they have here are more French cheeses. I don't know what it's called. Emmental. I don't know what the name of it, but it's kind of Swiss cheese-ish, like hard cheese. It's not like mozzarella. You don't find a lot of mozzarella. So that's what I really enjoyed in Spain. The pizza I had. I would fly over there right now um to uh to have some more. I think yeah. I think when I miss home, I'll probably go to Barcelona if I can't make it all the way to LA because the flight is basically I think 5 hours. Boom, you go to sleep, you wake up, you're there. Like it's nice, easy. No 2 flights, 3 flights, and long, 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 long 20 hours. So that was cool. So I get my fix, go shopping. The malls are nice. It's just those familiar things. It's a nice feeling to have. Like there's a mall here. It's just not by my house. But yeah. So the trip was really cool. I'm gonna have to journal about it, and I mean, if it were me, I would go back. I would go back in like less than 6 months, but I have to be responsible financially, fiscally responsible. And oh yeah, Dad left. That's right. You should call him on your tablet or something while he's out and see if he'll get you a pizza. Why? Why not? Oh, your tablet. Here's your WhatsApp. Make sure you check. Make sure you check your WhatsApp if your grandma calls you and stuff. Here, call. No, not that grandma. Your other one. Here. Go outside and call your dad and ask him for pizza. Maybe maybe he'll get it for you. Anyway, what else are we talking about? I was planning to let go of that. Good to know. Oh, delivery or pizza. But I was talking to a friend of mine who lives in Dakar. You may know her. She has a YouTube channel. And we were talking about how like we go to different stores, grocery stores and markets to get different stuff. And she was saying, yeah, it's hard to be healthy because she's a vegan, kind of, sort of, and to be healthy and go get different stuff. And I'm like, not even the healthy stuff, just the stuff that I know that I'm familiar with, because I don't have the time to make certain types of food from scratch all the time, But don't do that. What are you doing? What are you trying to do? I don't know what you're doing. Yeah. Like, and go and get like. What are you trying to do? Is this a game you play at school? What are you trying to do? No. Where's your Oh, here we go. How did I save your dad's number in here? Here it is. Ooga. Here. Ooga. So crazy. Here, take it. You made me forget what I was saying. Stop. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, we were talking about eating and stuff. and how it is hard. I was telling her it's not even eating healthy, it's just eating familiar and not having to cook everything from scratch. So it's like, whereas you could buy like pasta sauce, like to make pasta sauce and then make pasta and make this and make, like, I just need to buy it. Like I don't have time to do all that. But we have someone that cooks, but she doesn't know how to make the stuff that I like yet, and it would take time to teach her. So I'm just like, I'll make it myself. I just have her prep certain stuff so I can have what I want. Like if I want a burger and stuff, but like the way people know how to do stuff is different because they don't use the same kind of. They may not use the same kind of stove top oven thing, and it's not really. Yeah, it's a lot. It'd be a lot of teaching that you got to do. So I just do what I can when I can, and then sometimes I just don't eat because I'm not in the mood for, like, I'm used to eating something like, you know when you live in a big city in the West, it's like, oh, you want Chinese tonight? You want Ethiopian food? You want this? Actually, I gotta go to the Ethiopian spot. So there's an Ethiopian spot over here. I just never ordered from them. My friend, my friend took me there, and it was good. EP says, "Did you ever want to live abroad before you met your husband?" Definitely. I was. I think I would have been too scared to do it. West Africa, 1980. Hey, what's going on? Um, did I ever? So I wanted to. I was planning to move to Panama, like when I retire or something, but it was so far. I mean, I was in my 20s and I was just, planning for the future or whatever. But I always used to watch those shows where people would look for housing abroad on the, was it HGTV type stuff, and I was really into that. I really admire people who traveled. Like I always thought I would never be able to move because how am I going to support myself? Um, so I'll just travel. So every 3 months, 4 months, I will go travel. And then I got married and, bought a house. And so everything kind of slowed down. And then we had a kid. And it was just like, I was actually, before we had the kid, I was pregnant. I was sick. I couldn't go nowhere. It was just eating me up, like that I couldn't keep traveling. So I would get my fix by traveling places because I couldn't move, or I didn't see how that was going to happen anytime soon. But yeah, I like the adventure, even though it's not an easy thing. I think the what you learn from it is like it's so valuable that it's, man, it's, I can't see my life without doing having done this because just how much I've been exposed to and how much I've learned. But traveling was my fix for many years. Since I left college, I didn't stop want to stop. As long as I had the money and I saw a ticket, if I saw a ticket for $200 or $300, I was gone in a couple of weeks. And then it just became more difficult as I advanced in my career, advance, I guess you'd say, in my career, because it was like you can't take this much time off, and who's going to cover for you, and you have all these employees and stuff like that, and I just felt more and more pressure that I was about to explode, and I wanted to take a year sabbatical and like test it out, but I had to look through the bylaws of how I can do that. Like I have to be sick, or I have to have a kid, or a sick parent, or something, like some reason to take a year off work and have a job when I come back. So the job security part was really what what uh, kind of held me back, I guess, until we figured out a plan, which, the plan still is changes, it has ebbs and flows and fluctuates, so that it's not like I'm a planner type, but I'm not one of those free, like, I'll just do this and then change and do this. Like I couldn't do that and be okay. Is your oven electric or gas? It's gas. We have a gas tank for the oven. Hi, Carteret NJ. Um, it is located about 200 meters from Malakunda Quarzma. Oh, 2 blocks behind the jar oil. Oh wow, really? Okay. I know exactly where that is. Dope. Actually, I think I heard Amadou talk about you before that he ran into you at least one time. He told me he ran into some a gentleman, if you're a gentleman, and you were building and and you recognized him or something like that. Okay. I'm gonna mention to him about the Malakunda Kwasman by Ja Oil and see if that's who I'm remembering. Yeah, I was traveling. EP says I was traveling abroad 3 to 4 times a year before COVID, but haven't been anywhere since New Year's 2021. Yeah, isn't that tough? I hadn't been other than Gambia. I've been to Gambia 4 times, which is a blessing. Like to be able to go somewhere else at least. You know, I've been twice this year and twice last year and but I hadn't been anywhere new since the first time I went to Gambia, which was March 2021. And so I was really itching, but it's like everything that's going on and travel complications, it just was really discouraging. And so I just had to pretend that, I mean, I was traveling, like this has been an adventure. I was traveling in the country and just being here, isn't it? Is like traveling because it's been it's going to be two years pretty soon. And so, I pretty much the first year I looked at this as a traveling experience, but now it's like I want to get back out there and see all these other places. Now I'm in a different part of the world where I have access to other countries that I didn't have as easily of an access, and so it's like changing my travel goals. I did most of the Caribbean, not most of the Caribbean, like I did it like I feel like enough in different what do they call them? I can't think of the word. Regions? Is it called regions? Continents. That's the word. Different continents or whatever. But I want to see some other cities. Like I haven't been to Niagara Falls. Like certain stuff. Now that I'm not in the states, I'm like, oh, I didn't get to see this, and I didn't get to see. Because while you're living there, you're just working. So when you live in a place, you don't have time to like go anywhere really. The holidays come, you're with your family, and then you get back to work. And so if it wasn't for COVID and I had known that um I was gonna be leaving, if it wasn't for the restrictions, I would have been able to at least like, okay, we're moving in 6 months because it was a 6 month like decision. Like it was gonna be a couple of years down the road, and we just like let's sell the house and let's go. But I feel like if we were able to travel and take time off and do some other things, that would have been nice. Now I have to pay so much money to go back, and it's like I'd rather go to new places. Let's see what else. Dudu says, did you hear about the Jamnajo project in Dakar? How is it progressing? So Jamnajo is outside of Dakar, but yes, I've seen on my Instagram. I get these advertisements for the building that's supposed to go on over there. I don't know what stage they're in, but yes, Jamnajo is definitely developing, and they're trying to. I think they just have to get people to want to live there. Some people do. I know a lady who her husband and her and her husband are from Senegal, and they moved back, and they built in that area. So it is definitely developing. I haven't I only go to that area when I'm going to the airport, so I don't know outside of that what's really happening. But yeah, there's buildings everywhere. I just don't know about the lifestyle and like to get people there. I don't know what it's gonna take. I mean, people definitely need to leave Dakar because it's too crowded and everything. And the train is up and running, so that I haven't taken that yet. When I do take it, I'll definitely vlog that experience. But the train that goes to Dakar from Jamnajo, I think actually the train is gonna come to Malakunda too. Like it's supposed to come here like they're still building that. So yeah, development is happening on all levels, government level and individual level. Things are being built. It's just, it's just a waiting game. EP says, as a single man, it's challenged to plan a trip to African countries because of my business, and it doesn't make sense to travel that far for anything less than 2 weeks. Actually, I know a lot of people that come for a short period of time and have no problem. My homeboy is supposed to come this month for like a week, and then the first time he's been here twice already. The first time he came for 6 days, and we did a lot in 6 days. Um, when I was just in Barcelona, I was there. I was supposed to be there 4 days. We missed the flight, so it was like three and a half. But and I had a blast. Like I don't know. It just I mean it depends how far. If you're on the West Coast, I could understand what you're saying because you basically lose 3 days flying because you got to fly one day and then rest half a day, then enjoy your trip, then fly back and all that. So that part I get, but but you could do a week, like here, like not including the travel time. Like you could actually be on the ground a week and have a pretty good time. Um, my cousin, because of the nature of her work, she can only have one weekend off. So she comes for about 12 days when she comes and goes back, and she's able to come, often or whatever. But yeah, it just depends on how far you are. Sometimes from the East Coast, the tickets can be like $800, which is dope. Because from LA, it's like 12, 1300. So I find myself disdainful towards everything American. LOL. Yeah. Ever thought about Um, ever thought about Brandy says, ever thought about planning trips for folks who want to visit Dakar? I've thought about it and I do not want to do well, Senegal, not Dakar. I don't know Dakar well. I could never do that. I don't know Dakar at all. I just know how to get there and how to get out when it gets to be too much. But I thought I actually somebody had mentioned that to me before, and then for some reason it popped into a while ago, and for some reason it popped in my head the other day because I'm actually planning trips like itineraries for people coming. There's like maybe 3 people I have coming. Yeah, 4 different people at different times throughout all the way through December that are coming, and I'm planning these people's itineraries right now, and it's a headache. So no, I don't want to plan anything for anybody because I gotta call taxis. It's not like there's set prices for stuff and set prices for this and set availability. I can't plan like for my cousins. They're coming November, top of November. I can't call the taxi and be like, "What's your availability this day at this time and this?" Because they won't know until a few days before. Like nobody plans stuff that far ahead. So it's for me, it's like yeah, it's too much. I wouldn't even plan for somebody coming to Senegal, let alone Dakar, which I'm not familiar with. But not for money. That's too much work for me. I mean, I can just tell you a list of things you should do and give you some taxi numbers. I want people to be as independent as possible. And so as soon as people touch down, if it's your first time, then I have to be more hands on. But anybody who been here already, like my homeboys coming, I'm just gonna give him the phone number to the taxi driver, and he will make everything happen for himself. Like that's what I want. Independent living. um, yeah, I love the Caribbean and South Africa. I haven't been to South Africa yet. It looks nice in the videos. No desire to travel domestically in the U.S. Yeah, I mean, I did like what New York, Miami. Miami was fun. Miami, Chicago, maybe Texas, like wherever I got family. I used to run track in college and high school, so we'll go to like in California and we would go to like Utah and Idaho and stuff like that. So I mean, I've seen enough, but it's so vast. It's basically like 50 countries, pretty much. Like when you go to like for example, from Lisbon to Barcelona, it was a 2-hour flight, and I'm like, that's like going to Texas from California. It's crazy to me. how you just go to a different country, different language, different rules, different food. And so, yeah, I would love to be in the States and do like a tourist type of thing. Because the tourist areas, you don't really have as many problems because they think you from somewhere else. So they be nice and they have they, good behavior on. But yeah. Um Grand Rising. Hello, Bermuda in the building. What's your topic? Oh, Papa Sheezy. No topic. I was talking about my recent trip to Barcelona and just different cultures, as far as like different levels of racism and different levels of like just different experiences in general. Nothing really specific, but traveling is one of my biggest hobbies, and it's something that I missed, with everything that shut down and all that stuff. So finally, I was able to go somewhere with ease. They did have one instance where we had to wear a mask, or like people were wearing them sometimes, but we to get on the tour bus we had to wear it, and we didn't have any because we didn't even bring any. We were like, what? I haven't worn a mask in so long, and so when we couldn't get on the tour bus, and we had to go run around looking for where to buy mask, and that's when Amadou found souvenirs and asked them where to go and stuff. Senegalese people are everywhere, by the way. Did you guys know that? Like every single country in the world, there are Senegalese people living there. Every single country. Like there are Senegalese people in Abu Dhabi, Senegalese people in Dubai, Morocco. Like I know some. Italy, Spain, Lisbon. I mean, everywhere. Puerto Rico, Brazil, Mexico. Shout out to the homie in Mexico. I know a couple there. But like everywhere we go, we meet Senegalese people. And my husband will like find them. He's like, go up speaking Wolof to all these people. And I'm like, you don't know. They could be from another country. Y'all are not the only country. But he's like, I just know. And so we probably met like 7, 8 people from Senegal in the 3, 4 days that we were there. Oh, South America, not South Africa. Oh, okay, yes, I love South America and Central America. Like I really identify. I feel like I have a lot of family that must be there, and I really identify with the black people in those places, like the Costa Ricas and Colombia and Panama and stuff. I love it. The food is very much African influence. It's like, yeah. Let me see what else. EP. Okay, so I can get around in a week if I have someone there to help facilitate. Yes, definitely you can. It's you just get you basically like there's people who are tour guides, right? But they'll charge you a whole bunch of money just to translate for you basically, and then they'll hire a taxi driver and say you're paying for all this gas, taxi driver, and me, your guide, and all this stuff. But you don't need all that. All you need is a taxi driver. You need a chauffeur. And the chauffeur, you pay him to do what he does, and he'll take you everywhere and he'll look out for you. Like people will automatically step in and help you when you need help. It's not like you gotta ask them like, can you translate for me and what's the fee? There's no like hidden fees, no nothing. So you just get somebody, a cool person. Even if you don't speak the language, you just use your phone. If they speak French, they can use the Google Translate and you can figure stuff out. They'll try to say some words in your language or whatever, make it work and figure out stuff. Like, no, that's an easy thing. You can definitely do. I had a homeboy who came here for like 4 days and was fine. Like he came here to my house, ate lunch, was in Dakar, went to the club. Like he did a couple of things, got an outfit made or bought an outfit. Boom, boom, boom. 4 or 5 days he was gone, and it was fine. You just gotta have a plan for what you want to do. Like you can't just. It's not the kind of vacation if it's just that short. You can't just sit down at the beach and just chill. Like you got to know what you want to do and get it in. So you're gonna go to the beach, have lunch, boom, boom, go shopping, like you could do different stuff in different days. That's how we did Barcelona. Like we did one day where we did a tour. We went out to dinner. We went shopping, souvenirs, and then like the afternoon went to the beach. Like we did 2 things a day. Even if it was resting was one of the things where we rested in a different place, like on the beach or you can get stuff in. You could definitely do it, and you save money because the longer you stay somewhere, the more you spend in on accommodations and stuff and food and everything. So that's how I used to save money traveling. I would go to Panama for a week, for 4 days. I would go to Puerto Rico, visit my friends there, crash at her mama's house, and like and then come back. But then I got my fix. Like I can get back to the job without the stress, and like it helped me to be away, and it's worth it. Like as long as I got the money for the plane ticket, I don't care about nothing else because you paying for transportation wherever you live every day anyway, and you already paying for food. So I don't count those as extra expenses. I just count the plane ticket and everything else I'll do like normal. Let's see. Brian E says, "Ella, understandable. Yeah, about the I think about the tour guide stuff. Yeah, I'm already burnt out. I like when people come to visit me. I love it. I'm excited for my homeboy to come to see him. I'm excited for my cousins to come to see them. But at the same time, I don't need nobody dependent on me for everything. As soon as I could, like, as soon as we figured out, who the contacts are, like, boom, these people will hook you up. Like, we had some people come stay at the Airbnb um as soon as we hooked them up with a taxi, they was cool. Like they were like, "Oh yeah, I met this friend." Like people are really resourceful and people are really helpful in turn, so it makes it easier. Joyce Stewart, looking forward to seeing you in March. Hoping to start your construction. Hi, Joyce Stewart. That's exciting that you're gonna start construction. So you'll be coming to Senegal. Awesome. Dauda Nyan, I'm building not far away from you. Ganjigal. Why have I heard of Ganjigal? Um, how do you say Funanek? I don't know. Where is Ganjigal? Like, that's not in is that like Nyaning? What's it that place called? Uh, that's not like Point Sadin and stuff or Mojang or anything. I got a lot of ideas from visiting your house. Cool. Oh, nice. Oh, so you came to the house and did the tour? Dowda. I don't know if I remember the name, but was I here when you came to visit? Papa Sheezy. All right, family, enough big respect. Thank you so much, Papa Sheezy. Thanks for all the support. I see your comments on all the videos. I really appreciate the love. Doodoo, have you been in Chess? The city, yes. Yes, but only passing through. I really don't have much business to do in Chess. I remember driving through a lot when we traveled. The first time we traveled through there and I saw a lot of like churches, and so I was like, oh, that's interesting. It was a different look when then other parts of the country that I've been to. But what did I do in Chess the other day? Did I go there? No, usually we're just driving through. I went to the freeway. No, like the end of the freeway, you get off in Chase, right? I think so. Yeah, I think that's where the bus stops, something like that. But yeah, I don't really know anybody over there, go over there for anything in particular though. But I'm familiar. It's not far. Let's see what else. What else? Hey Queen. Hey Julie Rousseau. Hi, that's my friend. When are you coming back? Were you coming back in December too? I think you said something about this. Papa Sheezy, we are in TR people and sun people. We are over the planet, all over the planet. Yes. EP, so I need to find a Senegal Bay online. Yes, it's very easy to do. I would want to make the most of the flight and travel time. That's why I said it doesn't always make sense to come for less than 2 weeks, which is true. It's true. The time part, yes, I get it. Because even for me, if I'm driving somewhere, like if I'm driving an hour and I'm going to be at the place for like 10 minutes, to me, it's not worth it. Like the time I should spend at the place should be way more than the travel time it took me to get there. So I get it. Yeah. Near Sally. Oh, Ganjigal is near Sally? Hmm. Well, a lot of places are near Sally though. Like there's in Gaparu, there's what's the other one that start with an N? No, not Ngohu. There's Ngabaru, there's Samon, there's Sali Naknahal, there's Yeah, I don't know. Sally Center and stuff. Um, what's the other one? I forget the other one that's by Ngaparu, but coming towards Malakunda. But anyway, do you remember the locks? Oh, the guy with the lock. Yes, that's what I was thinking about. But I was like, I didn't remember your name from the last time. Yeah, you've been here. Okay, I know exactly who you are. It's just that everybody has common names, so I can't go by the name because there's a lot of doubters that we know. So yes, I know. Yes, I know exactly who you are. Flexed up. You can do a lot in 2 weeks in Dakar. Dakar, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Dakar has a lot going on. I think yeah, you just have to brace yourself for the traffic and time stuff, for certain times of day when people are at work, so you won't hit those traffic jams during the week. And Sunday is the best day to get around Dakar. Like if I ever had a choice on what day to go, that's when we go to do something and get out, like before, you know, while people are leaving for the weekend. EP, and it would be more than a vacay. It would be a fact-finding mission for repatriation. Like where would I live? Cost of living, access to the beach. Yes, I got you. I got you. You got goals, which is good. Goals for your trip. I totally get that. Atmosphere. I'm on a work break, but I will catch up on the replay. Okay, atmosphere. I be forgetting about work breaks. Oh man, these videos when I was working during everything being shut down, when I was at work and it was lonely and everybody was separated and you couldn't, like, these are my memories of living there because that's when we left. But it's like everybody was separated, you didn't want to get sick and stuff with the mask. It was just like the distancing and all that. Like these videos were the ones that I would be watching in my office. Like, okay, we pretend like I'm not here because we couldn't travel. I missed 2 trips. We were planning to go to Thailand that year, Thanksgiving, and we were also planning to. I was planning to go to Rwanda in May 2020. I was supposed to finally go to Rwanda, and everything changed, but it's okay. We're still here. Julie Russo. I should be back in January trying to get the hubby to go in December. I want this land at least started before 2023. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. We will be here. So, yeah, unless I go to Barcelona again. But yeah, I was supposed to be editing a video, but I had started it yesterday. So I was like, oh, I got more done than what I planned to. So I was like, let me just chill today and work on it tomorrow. I don't like watching a video over and over and over and over and over and editing. I like to see it fresh the next day and like, okay, things I didn't see before and stuff. So I like to take a pause from that. And then I'm supposed to be reading. I'm still reading my Angela Davis book. I think I showed y'all one of the last lives I was doing. I don't even know. Oh, here, I dog eared the page. So I'm right here. I'm like got 100 more pages to go out of 400. But it makes me upset to read this book. Like the emotional stuff she was going through, being in jail. Like it just like what EP was talking about before. Like it's just the way the system is set up in this country. It's just this particular country right here. It's like it's set up for people to get worse. Like I just was watching I was binge watching Angie Martinez because like I don't have US TV. I mean I could, but I don't. I watch everything delayed as it airs on Netflix. So I was watching Angie Martinez hip hop stories that she did in 2019. And she's interviewing Swiss Beats and Wyclef and French Montana and like Ice T, Ice Cube. Everybody's talking about the same things. Queen Latifah, NC Live. Everybody's talking about they like near death experiences, getting shot in the head. And then it was one of them was when Nipsey was killed. Was that she was filming, doing an interview when Nipsey was killed, and like it was just like, and they showed Ice T how he grew up and everything. And they show Ice Cube, and so when they were showing Nipsey and where he got killed, which is where we lived, like it was right down the street, like Crenshaw, like right, like I spent my whole life driving up and down Crenshaw right there, going to the mall, going to the Magic Johnson movie theater, like. all the stuff that she was asking these people. It's like, even though she's in the hip, Angie Martinez, if you don't know who she is, look it up. But she's in the hip hop community, so I know she's heard of stuff. But it's just like to see kids, teenagers growing up, and they just had to get a gun. I think Wyclef was working for the Italian mob when he didn't even speak English. He was like 10 years old or something, working for the Italian mob in Jersey. And it's just like, when you hear the stuff that's so commonplace, and then this book is like, she's talking about stuff that happened in the 60s and 70s, and it's just the same stuff, and it's like exactly a sick society. It's very it's very much like, I think Mano was in an interview, and everybody's talking about, I did solitary confinement at 16, I did this, and I'm thinking about DMX, I'm thinking of like all these this it's not us. Like, they'll like society will pinpoint, that it's these people that are doing these crimes. Like any society you go to. You can go to South America, the same thing. They'll say it's the hood. They'll say in Brazil, the favelas. They'll say they're the ones causing, but they're not the ones who brought the drugs. They're not the ones who shipped the coke there. They're not the ones who put the guns. Like, there's a YouTube channel, Judah something, but he's in Ghana, and he grew up in Chicago, I want to say, and he did an interview with Natural Ghana Girl, who you may know, and he was just talking about how the police, they would drop off these cartons of weapons in the alley so the kids can play with it. Like people are sick. Like, people just want to destroy society or people. Like, I don't know. So it's just it's interesting, and I'm taking the time to like educate myself more now that I'm out of that place, because like I said earlier in the live, my husband was mentioning when we were in taking a train in what's to call it, um in Barcelona. Like, in the States, that's the first place he went to where people are like, "What are you doing here?" Like, and you're still in the same county where you live, and they ask you, and you go to from LA to Pasadena or LA to Inglewood to Torrance, and they ask me what you do here, like you don't belong there. Like, my homeboy lived in Culver City with his parents, and the police was still asking why you walking down the street. My homegirl moved to the Valley with her son, who just became a teenager at the time. He was like 12, 13. This little boy. Like, I knew him since he was 6. You know what I'm saying? His name is Andrew. Like, and the police come up and search through his backpack. Trauma, exactly. EP, like, it's all trauma, man. Like, but I gotta finish this book because I have to move on to the next book. After this, I get to read a happy book. That's what I will reward myself with, because I have to know it. Because I hate how they want to keep us ignorant. They don't want us to travel. They don't want us, like, they want us to think that our country is the best. That's why all these people are coming here. But we may or may not have had a hand in effing up their country, how in leaving their country in the state it is now. You never know. And so it's like, yeah, and then we don't go anywhere because we're like, oh, it's scary. They show us on the news all the bad stuff, but it's like, it's bad stuff. I don't even watch the news. I can just look at my Instagram and on my feed see what's going on over there, and it's just like a broken record. A broken record. Yes, Jerk Soul Judah. Yeah, but it's just crazy how when I was watching the Angie Martinez show, like the hip hop interviews, everybody's story was the same. It didn't matter if they was from LA, Jersey, New York, the Bronx, wherever. I think she did like Trina. Like, it don't matter. Everybody's life growing up was that bad. Like, ugh. Anyway, yeah. I don't know, man. I just feel like there's always evil in every society, but I think it's just a different level in that country. I mean, maybe others might be able to match it. I don't know, but I just feel like the culture itself is just so vicious. So, but I have to learn it. I have to educate myself because I know they don't want us to know. They want us to be in a bubble and go to Disneyland and forget everything and not pay attention. And I got to teach this stuff to my kid so she'll know the real. Not to scare her, but I just want her to know the facts, and about where her mom's side of the family, where she comes from. She was born there, and so she could be safe and proceed accordingly. EP says, and it won't stop until we stop it. That's a large part of why I got to get out of there. That's my thing, because I was like, okay, protest and this and this and that, but like she protested and she was in prison and she was in solitary confinement and they made up all this stuff I'm not that brave. That's what the conclusion I came to. Like I'm not, you know, people, I have friends that are lawyers. I have people that, are like fight the cause and this and that. And I'm like, that's great. If that's what you call to do and that's your passion. I'm worn out, even emotionally, of even thinking about it. So I cannot. I just have to remove myself so I can be better. And my kid is already better, and it's been 2 years. My kid is. I know for a fact, growing up in the area of Los Angeles where we were, like in this climate where now it's okay for all kinds of kids to go to school together, but people still have the same ignorance and miseducation, all of us. And so it's like it's still gonna be the same stuff. Like, nah, I'm not. Where the teachers get paid crap and don't have to be educated none, and you know, teaching things like indentured servitude and stuff. Certain things didn't happen in history. Like, nah, I can't get with that at all. So they are doing the same thing to Haiti. Oh, what was it that I said? What are they doing in Haiti? Um, Oh, is it like showing? I saw something that happened in Haiti that they showed, and I'm like, they would show this. They don't show anything but the bad stuff that happens there every 5 to 10 years. Like, but then, but then, how they treat the people when they're trying to get asylum and stuff. You know how many Haitians is stuck in Mexico? Like now, there's a Haitian, like the Mexican people, the border communities have totally embraced Haitian culture. There's Haitian restaurants and all this, like in Mexico, because a lot of people got stuck in limbo there. But you know, I don't think you can compare apples and oranges, or like war in this country and war in that country. I think it's all, or whatever problems, hurricane here, hurricane there. I think everything, is equally sad, tragedy, period. But like, how are you gonna show people? How are you gonna not show people? How are you gonna beat people up in one instance and then have a little thing like, oh, let's help this country out, with what they're going. Like, it's just hypocrisy, man. I can't say much else about it because it's gonna raise my blood pressure. So, and that's what they want. So I'm gonna calm down and relax. Um, Right, my future children deserve better. Yes, exactly that. Exactly that. Like when you start to travel, and I think that's why the US doesn't promote traveling. Like you can go to Jamaica, you can go to the Dominican Republic, but you don't see as many commercials for traveling as you see for mental health medication. Ask your doctor about this, and this. You don't see as many commercials for traveling as you see for, I don't know, sodas and Coca-Cola and Sprite and all this other stuff. Like when you travel, you learn, and I think that's what they don't want. They want people to be a part of the sheep in the herd and not think for themselves. And so, yeah, I'll definitely want to go to the Jerk Soul place if I ever. When I go to Ghana, I will get to go to Ghana. It's on my list. I will go one day, and hopefully, I can go there. Flexed Up says, EP, I wish you luck working on leaving too. Good luck to both of you guys. Kawana says, you're helping fight, educating people about how to get out, and that's possible. Yeah, that's true. Thank you. Yeah, that's true. I and that's how I had to look at it, because I was like, I have to tell people, I have to make sure that people can learn something. And that's why I tell people the difficulties as well as, the good stuff too, but it's not easy. But for my kid, it's worth it. If I didn't have a kid, mm, I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't put myself through the challenging parts like for as long. But for my kid, it's worth it. I want to build for my kid. I'm more concerned about the future because of my kid, the future of the community, the future of my little neighborhood. That's what's gonna happen, like all that. I'm thinking about her and any other, if I have any other children. What it would be like for them, like what their teenage years are gonna be like if there's other kids that are half Senegalese or even not even Senegalese, but African American and African Canadian and African wherever, and they just all kicking it. Even some European kids who want live here, they can come too, as long as they on some act right. I don't mind. Like, but in an environment where my kid is safe emotionally, mentally, and physic as well as physically. You know what I mean? Like nobody gonna tell her, "Oh, you too dark," and this and that, and that already started in the states at 2, 3 years old, just off some innocent like you don't look like the frozen princess and this and that, and she still remember that. You know what I'm saying? But nobody gonna tell her, "Oh, your hair is this and that." No, like people may prefer wigs and straight hair, whatever they want, whatever the style is, but nobody's gonna say, you know, like even us back home, we put ourselves like your grandmothers and your mothers was the first one, your aunties was the first one to be like, oh, so trying to protect you from the outside world before they criticize you, but then it's like they already giving you a complex. So at home, thinking that they trying to help you out before you get out into the world. It's crazy. Dropping off weapons, causing division. Yeah, my 15-year-old son definitely deserves better. My whole family. Oh, Tanika, yeah, my whole family deserves better. Yeah, man. It was such a weird relief feeling to be in a place where I didn't have to be on guard around white people. Like it was weird. It was like I know I feel different around, people from Latin America. Most of them have a different look, they have a different swag, they have a different style. So, whether they white, black, mixed, Indian, whatever. But like European people, I was a little nervous. I was like, how are they gonna act? Because in France, in Paris, they was acting French. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody acknowledged you, nobody say hi, you know, nobody make eye contact hardly sometimes, and so you don't know if that's just the culture, if it's you. Like you feel self-conscious, like you trying to wonder, is it because I'm a woman, or is it because I'm black? Is it because or you go places where they stare like, oh, or the little kids stare. When you see the little kids stare, you're just like, mommy, what's that? But I did not feel that at all, and I was just like, man, I could have been in states in a neighborhood in Chicago, Utah, Idaho, or Montana, and Boston, people would have treated me could have treated me like way worse, and then I'm in another whole nother country trying to get the language together with their accent and they knew they different words and stuff, and they like so friendly. You could ask, like I was scared to ask people for directions because I thought they was gonna be like nah, and he was like, go ask because you speak Spanish, so go ask. And I'm like, I don't want to ask, I don't know if I'm supposed, like I felt like I have to be an individual and do this on my own, but they was like, nah, if you go this way, you take this, like everybody. It was kind of like on some African like helpful stuff. It was pretty dope. It was pretty dope. So having that and knowing that like it's not always like that in other places, like it's not as hardcore, I guess, as where I'm from. It's like wow, I'm from this place and I'm not accepted, and then here I'm accepted. Like you know, yeah, it's a slap in the face actually, but let's see. EP says exactly. They need people to spend money back into the economy. Yeah, all by design. Divide and conquer. Family. We are warrior. Big up ourselves. They need to. They need people to stay to support consumerism. Totally, totally. There are things that I do differently now because I'm living here and I'm paying cash for stuff that, I could tell when I talk to my friends, like my homeboy calls me on video call when I'm not home, and so I don't have my Wi-Fi or whatever, and so I'm using my phone minutes or phone internet. Like back in the day, you remember you used to use your minutes, and you didn't want to run out. So you wait till the 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock nighttime minutes. You talk unlimited. So like he would call me video, and I'm like, the video use way more data, but he's not thinking that because he's in a state like whatever. I got my plan. It's unlimited. Everybody's unlimited now, and so I'm like, I'm not gonna put extra money on my phone just to be able to talk video whenever I don't want to talk on video right now. Like turn the video off. Like just talk regular. And then it was like, well, I'm talking to you for 20 minutes, but I don't really want to talk to you that long. Like whatever's the important thing we have to say, we can say it. And if we're gonna kick it, like I'll see you when I see you or we'll talk later. But I'm like, I'm out and stuff. I don't have to talk like long. I'm like, let me just save my minutes, and that's not something that I had done since back in the early 2000s or late, no, early 2000s when we had the nighttime minutes and stuff. But it was interesting to me because it's like we consume so much. There's stuff that I think about buying, even though yeah, I do use my credit card. Like you know, it's easier to get stuff instantaneous when you do use that, but sometimes it's like you realize how much we just impulse buy. Get this, order this food, delivery this, and it's like we're not even thinking. We just spend. Like it's crazy. Like that's the solution to everything. Money. Each one teach one. Beautiful melanated families across the diaspora. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just trying to make the most of this life and the time. Thankfully that she's back in school. It's funny because I was happy when she got out because I didn't have to wake up early, but now I'm happy that she's back because now I have more time and I actually wake up earlier and get stuff in, like my workouts and stuff and my readings and everything that I said. That was part of the reason that I was retiring or whatever. But yeah, everything is pretty good. We're grinding still. Um we got some things on the horizon. Some people come in, hopefully start building within the next 3 to 6 months. There should be a couple of projects going on. We have our apartment complex that we're working on. We have a new little side hustle where we sell water from our borehole. So we got little stuff that we're like, but what I'm trying to do is streamline everything because I don't want to do like 10, 15 businesses. I'd rather do like 3 or 4, maximum 5, and have them run smoothly. So we want to get the apartment complex done. We had with the prices of materials that's changed a lot of our plans, so we had to regroup a couple of times. So we're doing the apartment complex in phases. So which is cool that you could do here. Like you could build a 6 unit, 4 unit building and only finish one of the units and rent it out and then get money and then build the rest. Which is cool. Like I like this way much better than getting a loan and doing all like to have stuff quick or using credit and all that, even though you have to have more patience to do that. So I'm learning to appreciate not having stuff as quick as I want. Like we don't buy furniture if we can get it made. Like we rather get it made, or if we're gonna buy, we don't buy from like the store. We buy from people who ship stuff, which you have to wait every time they get a shipment and see what they got. They may not have what you want, but it's like I'm learning to be more patient with certain things. Like if it was me, I would just hit up IKEA and deck out my whole house how I want and put it on the credit card. But that's the old me, and now I'm like, okay, let's chill, let's do step by step. So I have to actually write down all the stuff that I want done at the house. Some little stuff here and there, like we got a waterfall by the pool that we need a pump for it to make it work and stuff like that. So it's like it's a process. Like I want house plants more, beauty, but we got our garden, we got our fruit trees. It's gonna take a while for them to grow, and you just learn patience, like nature. It's like nature's way. Like everything takes time and happens in the season it's supposed to. But I'm glad I got AC now. You know, we got no electric bill, no water bill, and so we don't have to worry about that much. So God is good. You know, we're blessed in so many ways. So, and Miss S, I want to visit Senegal, but I'm wondering if I need to learn French. Do you recommend a person learn French first? To visit, no. You don't have to learn a language to visit. You'll learn it when you get here. You'll learn the words that you need to know, and you could always use your smart device here and type in stuff. So, like, if you want to say something to somebody, as long as they can read, if they can read and they speak French, you type in your Google Translate app, da 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 da. Or if you're looking at a menu at a restaurant, you put your Google app and you go like this, and it'll translate the menu for you. Different stuff. I mean, there's always ways. There's a community that of people that don't speak French. Like a lot of people live here and don't speak French. So you could for sure visit and not speak French. That without a doubt. Without a doubt. But French is pretty easy to learn because it's a very popular language. So there's resources everywhere, all up and through all kinds of resources. You can watch Netflix and put the subtitles, watch a movie in French, put the audio in French, and you can learn, pick up words, but you'll learn when you come some words here and there to get by. Yeah, but for a visit, you don't have to speak French. Or there's people here that speak Spanish. There's people here that speak uh, all kinds of languages and don't really speak that well French or Wolof or anything, and they're fine. So anyway, I think I'm good for the live. Unless anybody else had anything to say, I don't want to miss anything. Oh, did I miss anything? Let me see. I think that was everybody. Yeah. So I just wanted to come say hello. Thank you guys for keeping me company. Um, I will get back to editing my video or reading a book. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna do next. Or maybe I'll write in my journal my trip in uh in Barcelona, and I gotta plan another trip. Like I wanna go to I probably won't be able to afford to go to or have the time off to go to, another continent or anything. I'll probably have to stay in West Africa close by, but I gotta hit up Cape Verde. I gotta hit up Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire for sure because I got in-laws there, and I gotta hit up where else I gotta go. At least those two. Probably do those, and then next year I want to go back to Europe. I may go to Italy because my husband used to live there and I've never been. So, and he still has family there. So I want to try to visit there and see, take pictures and enjoy. And I like learning about different cultures. I'm a very eclectic person, and I like music from other places. I like learning about other places. I feel like when you travel, it's just I hope everybody on here has a passport. That's the first thing. Like you need that because you never know when the opportunity you get invited somewhere, and if you don't have a passport, they'll be like, "Ah, never mind." But it's just so enriching, and I feel like you can't not learn when you travel. You have to learn something, even if it's superficial stuff that you learn. You're gonna learn something. Like you're gonna learn the food, or you're gonna learn the way to take the train. Like I learned how to take the train in Spain. I could barely take the train in New York, like the subway. But yeah, that just gave me so much confidence in myself. I was nervous, and Amadou was like more. He could figure out directions. I don't have the best memory for that kind of stuff. But we took the train, and I figured out the system. It was pretty cool. So I like growing and stuff like that, and I really want my kid to be able to go to a new country every year or something like that, so she can, or every other year at least, so she can get exposure. I think that just it just I think like my homegirl Dayla said when we did our show on Sunday, like your mind is so small when you don't get out and see the world. So I implore all of you, I'm close with this. I implore all of you to get out now that things are more accessible and open and everything. Get out and go somewhere, like, and just see, like, just book a trip. Like, don't wait for none of your friends, nobody. Like, just you go. You don't have to schedule with no other person, your partner, your spouse. Just go and try something new. It's scary, but it's like a rush, and it's just every time I travel, it enriches my life. Like the major, like so many of my close friends I met from traveling, and it's just memories that I'll never forget. And I met my husband from traveling, like, and that was man. I didn't even know how I was gonna come here by myself, but I did. And so, yeah, it's definitely a blessing, and I'm so glad to be able to continue to travel and do that, even though I'm living in a new country. It's kind of dope. EP, thank you for being a resource and inspiration. Oh wow, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Dudu, mashallah, thank you so much. Wow, that's so touching. That almost gonna get a little misty. Thank you. I appreciate that really much, very much. Yeah, I definitely don't see myself being one of, like, and it's cool if people are like that. Like you can move somewhere and just be kind of isolated, but like I still need my people. So if anybody wants to come or plan to come, definitely link up because I'm trying to build a whole family community unit. We are my husband and myself. That's what we want. Like diaspora Senegalese, American diaspora, like Black American diaspora, like all of us, just so we can experience this type of freedom and build what we want and what we deserve for ourselves. You know what I mean? Dudu said, talk about this project. What project is it that you're asking about exactly? I'm gonna let you before I go. I'll wait for you to. Oh, diaspora community. Yeah, so like I don't know if you know, but we live in just outside of Mbour, Senegal, which is called Malakunda. That's the name of the town. And ever since we were showing our build of our home just to inspire people, and and so they can learn something. If we learn, as we learn, they learn and see how the process goes and everything. um and from that, people started to contact us as early as last year. And so people have been buying land in our area that are from the States, or they may be from Texas or from Philly or from Germany or Sweden, Senegalese and Black American alike. And people are coming back. And so as a result, I would say over 20 people that have bought or purchased land through us, and then a couple of other people that we know of who have purchased land in the area because of us. Um, so people are planning to build. So I don't know, maybe the next 2 to 3 years, there may be a couple more people from relocating here or having or building here during that time. And I'm hoping that you know there'll be groups of us um, living here together with our kids playing together and going to school and all that. Oh, this is my husband calling right now. Hello. Hey, I'm live right now. Oh, it's okay. Oh, okay. I'm gonna listen to it. I thought you was calling because you was watching. Oh, your daughter sent you a voicemail. About the pizza. Yeah, because she kept bothering me during the live, and I was like, "Ask your dad for pizza. He's out." I said, "Go ask him." She said, "He's gone." I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Call him on your tablet." So I'm gonna listen to it later. All right. Bye. Oh, that was my husband. He sent me a message. So I forgot my daughter was in here asking for pizza. I told her to ask her dad. So I guess she left him some kind of message on his phone that he thought was funny. He wanted me to listen to it. But yes, I collect flags for the countries I've been to. I think I've been to 18 different countries. Generally, I think some of the countries I've been to maybe 8 to 9 times because I like here I have family here, my husband and stuff, and then other countries. But like total, I've been to 18 countries and I've lived in the U.S., so that's 19. But so yeah, one more and I'll be at 20. Which I don't think I'm gonna go to all the countries. Like I don't think I am, but I definitely want to go to different regions in the world, like different regions in Africa. If I could go to the East Africa, maybe I'll go to North because I know somebody in Morocco or Egypt or something. But like different parts of the world, so I can say, oh, I've been to, Ghana. I've been through West Africa. I've been to a couple countries in East Africa. I've been to Europe and Asia. I gotta go to like Asia. I've never really been interested in, but then when I had coworkers from Vietnam and Philippines and Cambodia, I ended up seeing pictures and I was like, oh, it's like very tropical and beautiful. So yeah, so I would love to like travel to different parts of the world at least and like, but I collect flags for the countries I've been to. I think I've been to like a few countries in Europe, a lot of countries in the Caribbean and Central America. I've been to a couple. South America. I've been to Colombia. Yeah, so I collect flags, but these are my two recent ones. And this one, I didn't get out of the airport in Portugal. This is the Portuguese flag, but I was in the airport long enough, and we took the Portuguese Air Portugal airline, so we were speaking Portuguese on the plane. So I count that as the Portugal experience. So that's why I got the flag. The same thing happened in Russia. We were on the way to Spain and we took Aeroflot, which is the Russian airlines. We was learning Russian words and eating Russian food on the plane. So I was like, well, and we had a layover for 10 hours because the flight was so cheap, but we had a layover in Russia for 10 hours. It was like the craziest experience, but yeah, so I counted that too. Um, Julie says she ain't lying. I bought my land. Whoop whoop. Yes. Due to I'm a digital nomad, the internet connection is good and board. Yeah, I mean, I'm on it right now, and I don't even have the fiber yet because the fiber is stronger, or I think it's stronger, but they have to connect it to the telephone poles, or once they do the electricity post, they have to extend it to here. I think once we get to the main road from here, there's electricity, but right here, most of us have solar. Like there's solar lights in the neighborhood next door to us and stuff like that. But yeah, once they get electricity, we can get the what's it called thing, the fiber. But we have the fiber box, fly box or fiber box. I don't know what it's called. Zoo and Shayna Femi. Dang, now we gotta buy in Senegal too. Yes, you do. You have to come visit. You can have your vacation house when you leave Benin. You come here, you just and then you could have a little Airbnb or something. We'll run it for you guys. um, no place like Senegal. Oh yeah, that is true. How far is Malakunda from Dakar? It is about 45 minutes at this time of the no. Dakar has a lot of traffic. So once you hit Dakar, yeah, it's like 45 minutes to an hour. But once you get to the border of Dakar to get inside and go to where you're going, that might be another 40 minutes depending on traffic in Dakar, 40 minutes to an hour because it can be hectic, especially during the week. So we went one time at 10 at night. Yeah, one time at 10 at night, and it took us 45 minutes to get inside and stuff. Um, I collect flags. I started with beach towel flags, except Panama. Something happened in the 80s with some students burning the Panama flag in protest, so they aren't as readily available. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, Panama was the second. No, Mexico was first, actually. I went on a cruise, but then I went to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was the first place I went to by myself. Like my family went to Mexico, so I didn't really count that cruise really. But and I was a teenager, but yeah, I went to Panama, and then I went to Puerto Rico, and then I went to Panama from Puerto Rico. That was my next thing. I have good internet experiences in Senegal. Yeah, the internet is pretty good as long as you have electricity. Like sometimes there could be problems with the electric company every now and then. I got a text in a group chat that the power company was having problems in Dakar and in Sali area. Some people. So thankfully, we don't have to deal with that. But I think this area is not as bad as some other regions in the country, like when the electricity would go out. When we were in the rental house, it wasn't like a every week thing. It was more like a once a month maybe. For it could be 10 minutes, it could be an hour, or it could be half a day, but it wouldn't happen too often. You kind of get used to it and figure it out. I have good in oh, I like that idea. Oh, the Airbnb. Yeah, think about it. And it could be a tiny house, but like a luxury tiny house. You don't have a lot of maintenance, not a lot of dust, not a lot to clean, but you make it look nice and shiny on the inside, relaxing. Have a little jacuzzi tub or something, or a little small little pool. Make you some banks. See, I be having ideas. But anyway, let me go. It's almost gonna be 2 hours. Thank you guys for helping me kill some time. I'm gonna listen to this message that he sent me with my daughter asking for pizza on her WhatsApp. And yeah, I appreciate all the love and all the nice things you guys say and the support. It really keeps me going. There are moments where YouTube can make you can feel a little burnt out, and you're like, do I have to do this? But then it's like, okay, when I do it and somebody contacts us or somebody comes to visit, it's like, or somebody, wants to do something here, it's like, okay, I got to keep doing it because this is how, the word's going to get out. This is how people are going to get motivated. So I have to continue. So I will definitely, continue on for as long as I can. As long as I feel like I have something to share that can help people. But thank you for helping me pass the time, and I have to figure out what I'm gonna have for dinner because I feel like some non-Senegalese food today. So we'll see if he got that pizza. I will talk to you guys on the next video. I should have a video coming out later on this week, maybe the weekend or something like that. If I do a good job editing, we'll see. And I will talk to you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for spending your time, and I'll see you on the next one. I'll try to do more lives. Usually I do like every month or every other month, but I'll try to get more into it. Now that she's back in school, I can like get my schedule together, so I have time to talk to you guys and kick it. I'll see you later. Peace out.